फिर होगी।
Hello students, very good afternoon everyone. As we have studied yesterday about the types of crystalline solids, as discussed there were 4 types of crystalline solids. Let's revise once again. Crystalline solids, and we are studying the solid state, the very first chapter of class 12 syllabus. Crystalline solids, there were 4 types, as in the previous we had studied. There were 4 types of crystalline solids. Here is a quick highlights of these types of crystalline solids are ionic solids, number 2 molecular solid, number 3 atomic solids, number 4 metallic solids. All these solids we had already studied in previous periods. Ionic solids, example NaCl, molecular solid as H2O and carbon dioxide, example atomic solid as we had diamond, and metallic solids, all metals. These are the examples of each types of crystalline solids. And now today's the topic of this chapter is unit cell. Yes, we are going to study the next topic of your syllabus is unit cell. Unit cell. What is unit cell? Let's define the unit cell. The smallest geometrical portion of crystal lattice is called unit cell. It is used up to build the whole crystal lattice. If it is repeated regularly. So dear students, what is unit cell? Unit cell is the smallest geometrical portion of the crystal lattice which can be used to build up the whole crystal if you are continuously repeating it again and again. As example, as we have this wall, if we are building a wall which is made up of bricks, this is a wall which is made up of bricks. So what is in the unit cell? The smallest portion of the crystal lattice. This all the wall is the crystal lattice, and the smallest portion, one brick, you can say one brick is the unit cell of this crystal lattice. This is unit cell. Now, types of unit cells. How many types of unit cells are present? And you will study the types of unit cells. There are 4 types of unit cells. Types of unit cell. So there are four types of unit cells. So there are four types. Which one? Simple or primitive cubic cell. In short, you can write SCC. Second one is body centered cubic cell. In short, you can write BCC. Third one is face centered cubic cell. In short, you can write FCC. And the fourth one is and centered cubic cell, or you can write in short ECC. So all these are the four types of unit cells which are going to be discussed in detail. अब हम इनके बारे में डिटेल में पढ़ते हैं क्या है ये यूनिट सेल्स के बारे में एक बार फिर से रिवाइज कर लेते हैं। क्या यूनिट सेल सबसे छोटा ज्योमेट्रिकल पोर्शन होता है जो क्रिस्टल लैटिस के अंदर पाया जाता है। जब इसको आप बार बार रिपीट करते हो तो इससे ही एक पूरा कंप्लीट क्रिस्टल लैटिस एक जाल बन जाता है जिसको हम क्रिस्टल लैटिस कहते हैं। जैसे कि हमने दीवार का एग्जांपल लिया था कि एक दीवार जैसे बिल्डअप होती है तो किसकी हेल्प से होती है, उसका सबसे छोटा पोर्शन क्या होता है, उसकी ब्रिक्स होती है, ईंटें जो होती है, ईंटों से दीवार खड़ी की जाती है। तो ईंट जो ब्रिक्स होती है, ब्रिक्स आर द स्मॉलेस्ट पोर्शन ऑफ द wall, and wall is known as an example of a crystal lattice, and the bricks are like the geometrical portion called unit cell. So types of unit cells are, there are four types of unit cells: primitive cubic cells, in short you can write SCC, and the second one is body centered cubic cell, write as BCC, and the third one is face centered cubic cell, written as FCC, and the fourth one is the end centered cubic cell, ECC. Now we are going to discuss about all these four types of unit cells in detail. So very first unit cell is simple cubic cell, SCC. This unit cell has 8 atoms present at each corner. How can we draw? This is a unit cell. This is the unit cell, and these are the corners: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All the 8 corners have 8 atoms present. So this is simple cubic cell. So what is the simple cubic cell? The unit cell has 8 atoms present at each corner, and there is no center and no face present in these cells. There is no center as well as no face present in the simple cubic cell. Okay. Now the second is BCC, or written as body centered cubic cell, or in short BCC. What is body centered cubic cells? As we have defined the simple cubic cell, so we will define like a simple cubic cell. So body centered cubic cell, the body centered cubic cell has 8 electrons present at each corner, but one atom is also present at the center, also, but there is no atoms present on face. So there is no atom present on the face. So the picture of this body centered cubic cell is like this: 8 corners, and one is present at the center also. So here is the presence of the atoms: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and one is present at the center also. This is body centered cubic cells. Let's devise body centered cubic cell, जिसके हर कोने पर 8 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं और एक इलेक्ट्रॉन और एक एटम यू कैन से प्रेजेंट होता है इसकी सेंटर पर। इसमें भी कोई फेस नहीं होता। तो दो टाइप के आपने क्यूबिक सेल्स को स्टडी किया है। अब हम तीसरी टाइप की क्यूबिक सेल के बारे में पढ़ लेते हैं। थर्ड आपकी होती है नंबर 3, फेस सेंटर्ड क्यूबिक सेल। फेस सेंटर्ड क्यूबिक सेल और FCC। The unit cell which has 8 electrons or 8 atoms present at each corner and 6 atoms present at each faces, but there is no center present. There is no center present. So what is face centered cubic cell? So face centered cubic cell जिसके अंदर आपके 8 कॉर्नर्स पर ही प्रेजेंट हो गए एटम्स और 8 कॉर्नर के साथ साथ इसके हर फेस पर आपके एटम्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं, इसलिए इसको बोलते हैं फेस सेंटर्ड क्यूबिक सेल। सो इसकी जो पिक्चर्स ड्रॉ होगी वो कुछ इस तरह से होगी। इसके पास भी 8 कॉर्नर्स प्रेजेंट हो गए। तो 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 इसके हर फेस पर प्रेजेंट होगा। 1 फेस, सेकंड फेस, थर्ड फेस, फोर्थ फेस और ये आपका मिडिल फेस हो गया। आपके पास 8 आपके कॉर्नर्स प्रेजेंट हो गए और आपके पास 8 के साथ साथ ऑल फेसेस के पास एक एटम्स प्रेजेंट हुआ। तो 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. These are the corners, and all together with the corners there are atoms present at each faces. These are the faces 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 6 faces present in a cube. So this is face centered cubic cell. There is no center present in the FCC. So altogether we had studied, let's revise altogether all threes still we had discussed. The very first was the simple cubic cell. In simple cubic cells there were 8 atoms present at each corners. There was no center and no face present in the simple cubic cell. As second, the body centered cubic cell, which had 8 electrons present at each corners, and there is 1 electron present in the center also. There were no face in body centered cubic cell also. In the third, face centered cubic cell, FCC, you can write in the short. So unit cell which has 8 atoms present at each corner. What is the common things in all cubic cells? That was the 8 atoms present at each corners. In all together, in all 4 cubic cells there are 8 atoms present at each corners. सभी के अंदर एक कॉमन सी बात आई है, एक हर क्यूबिक सेल के 8 कॉर्नर पर 8 एटम्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं. सो FCC के अंदर 6 एटम्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं ईच फेसिस के पास, क्योंकि इसमें 6 एटम्स प्रेजेंट हैं ऑल फेसिस के साथ, क्योंकि इसके पास 3 फेसिस हो जाते हैं 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th एंड 6th. तो 3 वन साइड आप देखोगे तो वन साइड से आप इसको 3 फेस आपके सामने से दिखाई देंगे. तो एग्जाम नाउ द फोर्थ and the last one is end centered cubic cell. End centered cubic cell or ECC. So there are 8 atoms present at each corner, but there are only 2 atoms present against 2 faces. There is no center. There is no center. कैसे? इसकी भी स्ट्रक्चर बना देते हैं. स्ट्रक्चर थोड़ी दिखाई नहीं दे रही है. So each corner there are 8 electrons or atoms present. Atoms at each corner present, and there is only 2 faces in this end centered cells. Only 2 faces. You can take only 2 faces against each other. कोई भी दो सामने क्या फेस रख सकते हैं, ये रख सकते हैं, ये रख सकते हैं, या फिर ये रख सकते हैं मिडिल वाले. तो इसको बोलते हैं end centered cubic cells. So altogether we had discussed the 4 types of cubic unit cells, and first one simple, the second one is the body, and the third one is FCC, and the fourth one is ECC. Now the next topic is how to calculate the number of atoms present in each cubic cell. Now the calculation of total numbers of atoms. Calculation of total number of atoms. Calculation of total number of atoms. First one is SCC. In SCC, how to calculate the total number of atoms? Let's check our structure. This is the structure of simple cubic cell. There were only 8 atoms present at each corners. You know very well, there were no center and no face present in SCC. So total number of atoms present in the corners equal to 8 into 1 upon the 8th part of this cube cell. So 8 into 1 upon 8 is equal to 1. Centers, no. Face, no. So total atoms Z equal to 1. So in SCC there is only one atom present. How we have calculated it? All the corners that you can check, all the corners 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 corners present, and the 1 upon 8th part of this cubic cell. Multiply 1 upon 8 equal to 1. Center, as you know, there is no center, and face also disappear in the simple or the primitive cubic cell. So total atoms Z, atomic number or the number of atoms present in the simple is 1. Now second, in BCC. In BCC, this is the structure of BCC. Each corner present 8 atoms and 1 atom present in the center. So the corners equal to 8 into 1 upon 8th part equal to 1. Center equal to 1. Face equal to no. So total atoms Z equal to 1 plus 1 equal to 2. So Z equal to 2. In BCC, total atoms present is 2. How? BCC, we had already discussed about BCC. There are 8 atoms present at each corners and 1 atom is present in the center. So corners 8 into 1 upon the 8th part, as usually we had done in the SCC. So calculated 1, center is present, so 1, face is no. So total atoms 1 plus 1 equal to 2. So now the third one is FCC. In FCC, this is the cube of FCC. There are 8 atoms present at each corners and atoms present at each faces also. So corners equal to 8 into 1 upon 8th part equal to 1. Center, there is no center. Face, 6 faces, 6 into 1 upon 2 part, because you can watch the 1 part of a side, so here is 3, and total atoms Z equal to 3 plus 1, so Z equal to 4. So total number of atoms present in FCC is 4. How? This is the simple structure of FCC. Present atoms at each corner and all faces also. Corner, as usually we are doing 8 into 1 upon 8 part of this cube equal to 1. Center is no present. Face. Here is the question of face. 6 faces present. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 faces. 6 into 1 upon 2. Half, multiply with half, because we can watch of a cube one side only. So one side or the half side. So 6 into 1 upon 2 equal to 3. And total atoms Z equal to 4. The last one is end-centered cell. End-centered cubic cell. ECC. I think the ink is finished. ECC. Here is the structure of ECC. 8 atoms present at each corners. And we can have 2 atoms present at 2 faces only. So how can we calculate the total number of atoms in ECC? So corners. Firstly, we are to calculate the corners. 8 into 1 upon 8th part. So equal to 1. Center. There is no center. Face. 2 into 1 upon 2 parts equal to 1. So total number, total atoms Z equal to 2. So in ECC there are only 2 atoms present. यहाँ पर आपने ओनली 2 फेसेस लिए. इस ECC के अंदर एंड सेंटर्ड के अंदर आपको कोई भी 2 फेस चूज करने होते हैं जो एक दूसरे के अगेंस्ट होते हैं. चाहे आप ये फेस रख सकते हैं, चाहे आप ये वाला फेस रख सकते हैं, या फिर आप मिडिल वाला फेस भी आप रख सकते हैं along with me sides, this one and the last one. So these are the calculation of the total number of atoms present in a cubic cell. So students, now quick revision of the theory, and I'm really sorry the marker is not going well. So here is discussion once again of unit cells. Firstly we had discussed about unit cell. Unit cell क्या होती है? सबसे छोटी, the smallest geometrical portion of a crystal lattice. किसी भी चीज का सबसे छोटा जो पोर्शन होता है जिसकी कोई भी डेफिनेट शेप हो सकती है. ज्योमेट्रिकल मीन्स कोई भी शेप उसके पास होती है, उसी को बोलते हैं यूनिट सेल. तो यूनिट सेल को अगर आप रिपीट करते रहते हैं तो वो एक पूरा कंप्लीटली एक क्रिस्टल लैटिस बना देती है, क्रिस्टल जाल बना देती है. तो आपकी यूनिट सेल जो होती है वो 4 टाइप्स की होती है. प्रिमिटिव, यू कैन से द सिंपल, second the body centered, and the third one is the face, and the fourth one is end centered cubic cells. All cells we have discussed in detail. Very first cell of the unit cell is simple cubic cells. Simple cubic cells के अंदर क्या था आपका कि 8 atoms हर कॉर्नर पर प्रेजेंट थे और बाकी उसके पास ना कोई सेंटर था ना ही कोई फेस था. सो कैलकुलेशन किया आपने, कैलकुलेशन करने के बाद आपको ओनली 1 एटम ही मिला था क्योंकि उसके पास केवल सारे एटम्स कॉर्नर पर ही प्रेजेंट थे. सेकंड आपका हो गया BCC मींस बॉडी सेंटर्ड क्यूबिक सेल. BCC के अंदर भी 8 एटम्स हर यूनिट सेल्स के अंदर प्रेजेंट होते हैं. उसके बाद BCC में एक नई चीज क्या ऐड हुई थी कि उसके एक सेंटर के अंदर एक एटम प्रेजेंट होता है. तो 8 एटम्स प्रेजेंट एट कॉर्नर and 1 present in the center. So the calculation, after the calculation, we got the total number of atoms only 2 because 8 into 1 upon 8 part of the BCC is equal to 1 and 1 center to be added. So Z equal to 2, total number 2. The third one is FCC, face centered cubic cell. As usually we are calculating the total number of atoms present in FCC also. So the corners present 8 atoms as usually present at each unit cell. So 1 after the calculation, a center is now present in the FCC, and the important things in FCC is the faces. 6 faces are present which are to be calculated with the half side, because you can watch from your front side is the half side of this cube. So calculation with the half side is 3. So the total number of atoms 4. Now the last one is end-centered cubic cell. End-centered cubic cell, 8 atoms present at each corner. Only 2 faces you are to choose in end-centered cubic cells. Corners, after the calculation you will get 1 center is not present and the face 2 into and half one side. So you can get 1, so z equal to 2. But end-centered cell is not included in your syllabus, so don't worry to discuss about this ECC. So we are to discuss only the 3 unit cells only in our syllabus. In further study, you are to calculate the packing fraction of these unit cells. Thank you.